Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2, The Silence and the Fury, where today we're going to spend a lot of time fighting lizardmen in a jungle, which is not, if I am honest, my favorite thing to do in this game. It is probably going to turn out to be a little bit more difficult than a lot of the fighting we've been doing so far. So first of all, I see we got some levels to deal with here. I think we're going to probably follow a pretty similar level up pattern with Daw, as we did with our other Minotaur. Speaking of which, where's my other Minotaur at this point? He's still pretty far north, right? Yeah, okay. It's not that far. Well, where can I actually get up on land? Wow. All right. There's a lot of cliff around here. So this is the closest beach. All right, it'll have to do. So we have a nice easy pick off here, where this soothsayer thought it was safe to settle this because we are so incredibly good at hiding. So let's just go ahead and renew our momentum. And then what is yeah, they have nothing. I guess we'll just take the replenishment. Wow, you really backed way off of that. He backed so far off of it that he can't even get back to it. That is not really what I was expecting. So I don't think there's any chance of baiting this army into running into us. This army would not be willing to fight either of our stacks straight up. So there's no sense in trying to set like a raiding trap or anything. I think we'll just creep forward and have both of the armies remain stealthy and pick up some other things here. So 20%. It's probably not worth spending 9,000 favor on. Not while we still have any other things that we want. All right, so level 10. What are we talking about here? The ability to Vanguard deploy this unit and any Bestigor units in this army. That's kind of cool. Frenzy for, running one of these in the Harpy army might be interesting. Having all Harpies have Frenzy, so they have 10% more melee attack, that might actually make them... Maybe we need to work a Wargore into that army. Maybe this Wargore, maybe we just bounce him out of this army. This buffs up chariots, and this is replenishment rate and chaos. Yeah, you know what? Maybe we do in fact do that. Maybe this Wargore is going to run over and join up the Harpy army. Not this turn, unfortunately, because he's probably out of movement. Well, if I do have him move out this turn, then at least we can we can recruit and fill his space. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I think he can even reach this army this turn. So we'll disband you. You're not really going anywhere. Also, then he'll be lending his bonus replenishment rate to Malagor's army, which needs it a lot more. Alright, what do we want from you? We need one more skill point in the box? No, we need five. Okay, we need a bunch. We need a bunch more skill points in this box. So what do we got? Okay, this thing that our other caster has, just a whole lot of minus leadership. It is a 36-second 16-point leadership debuff. Like, it's actually very significant. This is a ton of damage as a wind. I do love a good wind spell. You know what? Let's take Penumbral Pendulum. We don't have a lot of direct damage. So far, that's not what we're using our magic for the most part. It's nice to have some options. And Kazrak the One-Eye. I really don't know. What was I even doing? Right. Kazrak was going to learn about basic melee troops. Right. I have some very small amount of memory from video to video. No, wait, I'm trying to select my guy. So do I want you to scout forward or do I want you to annoy those agents there? I guess part of the question is, are we going to push around as two groups of two, or are we going to try to stay close together? Because we could... A two-front war in a massive jungle where it's difficult for my troops to reinforce each other at a moment's notice feels like a really risky endeavor. This seems like the kind of way that wars get lost, right? But we do have a lot of enemies to deal with. All right, how many settlements do you have? Is this your last one? Okay, so it's not going to be a two-front war for very long. Especially since we just crushed one of their armies. Yeah, all right, go ahead and push up. We're scouting forward. Why does it assume I want to select their unit? Yeah, run up here and assault this garrison for some XP. Oh, well... Well, that's embarrassing. You know, he takes after his predecessor, I suppose, but I do not like it. I do not like it at all. All right, give me more dread. I don't even know what to do with all the dread that I currently have, but go ahead and get me more. And then, like, what is the next most important thing for us to spend favor on? Is it more items or... No, don't. I'm trying to select. I really wish that it would prefer to select my units and armies over other things in the same space. I don't know if we're going to be able to make it to Zlanhwapek next turn. That's what I would like to do is hit that. My suspicion is we're just not quite fast enough. Really? That hero's preventing me from moving? Well, that's annoying. That's a remarkably well-placed hero, preventing me from being able to move down the road again. We're going to have the same problem here, I assume. Nope, this time it's fine. Alright. So we'll have the two of them approach this. Hopefully if Tarsix stops to play defense there, he doesn't also recruit a bunch of units real fast. I mean, because this is a real faction, a faction with a legendary lord, they do have access to their own regiments of renown, which means they can, in theory, do a whole bunch of instant recruitment, provided that their regiments of renown are not on cooldowns. That is a thing we have to be concerned about anytime we are fighting anytime we are up against a faction that has real rules. So what do we want to be thinking about spending favor on? Is it more herdstone stuff? We have mostly spent it on this stuff, and that hasn't gone too poorly for us. Oh, I did want to send a scout out to advance Kazrak's legendary quest, didn't I? Well, arbitrarily, let's have it be a Wargore. So Torox is the one who can recruit those, right? He is not. Who had the Wargore building? Oh, it's this. Yeah, it's the Pelt Totem, right? You get me a... Yeah, a strategist is perfect for this. And then, what do we want to expand? I probably want to expand recruitment of Gore and Bestigore, right? We want to fill out Kazrak's army with better units. The Bestigores are still covered by that skill, right? Yes. Okay. So I think we're just going to buy some levels of Bestigore value. So the Bestigores never have shields, which does make them a little bit less good at approaching archers, but they're much better at actually fighting. Let's buy... I'm just going to buy 3 levels of that. And then, sadly, we have to get Kazrak's recruitment ability up. We'll get there. He's doing important stuff right now. So I might just hold on to my favor, because I think all 4 of the armies have the movement guy now, right? Yes, you do, and I'm fairly sure you two do as well. Sorry, I'm just making sure, because my memory is bad. Garbage at the best of times. Okay, yeah. All right, I think that's what we're saving our favor for. We're not going to buy any more magic items for the moment. We're just going to make sure that we can level up Kazrak's ability to recruit good melee units as quickly as possible. Good infantry. Wow, did he really do the exact same thing? He totally did. I was expecting him to just back off on account of the thing he saw happen right in front of him. Because why would you not do that? Tomb Kings are doing something. Sandstorms or whatever. Got our Warherd Ravages, which is awesome. All major port owners have become known to each other via diplomacy. Am I one of those? I do own a port. We still have that bloodstone that has the port. It's not clear to me if the major in that sentence applies to the owners or the ports. Alright, well, I really, really, really don't want to just get bounced off of the settlement again in that same way. So, I don't really know what to do about that. If I do loot and raze, I wonder, because it gives me less movement, I wonder if it will move me a smaller distance. Probably not, right? Yeah, there's something about that settlement repels you more than a full turn's worth of movement after you hit it. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna advance Malagor to here, and we're gonna make our encampment on this side. No more resettling that, please. I've places to be. I will in fact do this. Well, I didn't put anything in the army to replace the thing that I just, the hero that I discharged. Well, what do we want? Because I do have the dread necessary to expand recruiting. We could just replace him with another unit of Minotaurs. That might be making the army a little one note. Do I have... What recruitment do I have? So I could get Centaurs, I can get the types of Minotaurs. I could get a Cygor. You know what? I'm just gonna replace him with a Cygor, I think. No, I'm not. That's the one you can't do yet. Except I totally could, right? We could just complete the ritual on the Northern Stone. Does it have... No, it doesn't have 34 value stored up. It does have a plague, though. The Plague of the Crow. Okay, so the plague thing went off here. It's not affecting anyone, because there's no one around, but we did finally see that plague trigger. No, I don't really want to spend favor on that. I think maybe it's a giant... This army has giants enough. I think I am just gonna get the ability to have more Minotaurs. What if another rank of Minotaurs? Sure, it's one note, but it's a good note, and we play it very loudly. Alright, so we're pushing along here. Let's get that Unnatural Thirst, which should get us Onslaught on the next skill point, and more Corruption is good. I really wish that our wizard had the ability to level up to the ability to fly. That would be very helpful. A lot of armies, or a lot of factions rather, the final mount choice for your casters is a flying mount of some kind. We sadly are not so lucky. You actually need to make it out to the ocean. You need to come back from the ocean. And what are we after next? Centaur buffs, fear during ambushes. A lot of our stuff already causes fear. So that's just chariot buffs. +3 damage for harpies. Regeneration for chaos spawn and jabber slides. You know? That's not horrible. More magic. Not necessarily like a lot better magic, but certainly more magic. You know what? I like more magic. And we are going to overcast a lot, and as such, we're going to run into a lot of miscast chance. And yep, I was right. We cannot make it in one. Ah, well. And this is a different army. This is not the army that was right here, right? A much larger and more impressive force. I wonder. Right now, Kazrak's force looks pretty weak. I'm wondering if we could bait them into an ambush. So have Kazrak just like raid. Because I think this army is going to read that army as defeatable. They're going to show up and it turns out there's way more guys than they thought. And then, you know how this goes. I sure wish I had a spy over here to attack them. Just soften them up a little bit. And Kazrak, the thing is, if I do the upgrades that we really want in Kazrak's army, it's going to force him into encampment mode. So we're not going to. Even though that is like the primary thing that we are waiting on. We're doing very well on momentum. So we're way past harsh rampage territory already. I don't know that Torox's army is actually in position to benefit from like any of this stuff. Yeah, I think we're gonna wait on popping that bonus until it will actually be meaningful. Doing pretty well on on the devastation stored up in Zahutek though. Killing a massive army every single turn. Oh, would you look at that? They just ran straight into it. A couple of ancient salamanders, a Razor Dawn hunting pack. So this is like this is a pretty fierce army, actually. Lots of high-level temple guards. And they came out expecting to fight just like the lowest of the low, and instead they will be consumed by Centigores. Let us take... how much... That's a fair amount of favor, actually. Yeah, and this army doesn't need the growth that badly. I will sacrifice some bestial rage. Yeah, there's a benefit to having one of our armies be filled with garbage, I guess. They do make attractive bait. Wow, did you see how red the bar was with Grimgore's faction? Apparently, somewhere out there is an orc faction that is just unbelievably powerful. Things must be going very, very well in the Badlands. Interesting. So, we're not in a position to need when one falls too badly. We could dramatically increase our the amount of gore herd that I'm allowed to summon. But I kind of think we either want to take the replenishment or the combat ability, and it's probably the combat ability because we're doing just fine on replenishment as it is. So wait a second. What happened here? You ran forward. You broke Malagore's stealth, and then seeing Malagore's army here, you still resettled the city? Also, Tlanchla has been settled by this faction, but whatever. Worry about it later. I do not understand that move at all. Maybe the AI keyed in the resettle, and then when they revealed this thing, it didn't give them a chance to interrupt their action. So even though they saw the army, they went ahead and resettled because they're like devoured now, right? This is terrible news. So we got Apocalyptic Visions. Yeah, this is the time to begin with the Ardor of Fury. So on self, Primal Fury. Okay. Even better at melee combat. And soon all of the cool stuff. You can get Pit of Shades or Occam's Mind Razor. You know, like I was saying, sometimes it's nice to just have a spell that deals a whole lot of damage. Twice there. Half of my brain tried to say does, and half of my brain tried to say deals. And it was like that Get Smart thing where the two words get caught in the hallway and they both try to step aside to let the other one through. Alright, should be easy enough. And we do just want to burn this, right? Yeah, I don't want a herdstone again. We're still within the range of another herdstone. Additional chaos corruption for you. Found ourselves an enchanted shield that probably somebody would like. Yeah, does it seem like the settlements in the jungle are just repelling us incredible distances when we're done with them? That's a little frustrating. I wish that would stop happening. All right, this is a fine time to get this upgrade and also this upgrade. And I mean, does this army? What does this army need beyond that? I'd like it to be able to support itself with its own monsters. So we could pick up this den building toward Manticore and Jabberslythe. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I think that might be all of the building that we do. We probably do not need... Well, we don't have a Bray Shaman in here. I should get a Bray Shaman. And I guess it may as well come from this army, right? Because then we're also getting the Winds of Magic Reserve bonus, and we can eventually get the Shatterstone. You know what? Yeah, go ahead and build a Flame Pit as well. Hooray for all of this favor. Alright, Ock the Rat Eater is here to accomplish, I do not know what. To kill this guy, maybe? Yeah, let's see if we can get rid of you. Well, no, I cannot, but I can become immortal. That's cool in its own way, right? Okay, this has gotta stop. The endless resettling of this region. I'm getting devastation and XP and everything off of it. I don't hate it, if I'm honest, but it is slowing down my progress. These armies have other things they need to be doing. So I'm hoping by attacking it from this side, Malagor will be repelled in the direction of the other settlement. There we go. Ah, notice when the direction it moves you in is useful, it moves you a lot less far. Ooh. That seems pretty handy. And a minus 20% to the magic resistance of every enemy unit, not just in this battle, but in the whole region, is definitely compelling. We'll get your Doom of Mankind eventually. I definitely want Greater Arcane Conduit. Alright, can we? Yes, we can, in fact, actually follow. And I'm going to try to spread us out sort of like across the entire bottleneck here, because I really don't want them getting an army past me again. I would like to be able to move forward and just remove this faction from the map. Spread corruption even faster. Okay. I don't think we actually want to upgrade any of our settlements. What do I want Morgur to do? We probably want Morgur to just stick around, right? The Blood Swamps belong to one of the High Elf factions. I don't know who this is. Huh, the Wardens of the Living Pools. Well, I guess it makes sense for them to be in control of the pools. So the blood region for here, the blood grounds for this, doesn't extend too much further south. It's like Itza is right here. In theory, this is where we would want to put a herdstone, right? I've been told that the settlements that you are supposed to take, your objective settlements, have better herdstones. And it would probably cover all or at least most of this stuff. Which means we want to destroy as few settlements as possible in the area. We want to get here, set up the stone, and then burn everything else. So I guess we try to push past Axolotl, doing like beast path stuff. Or we could just burn Chakwa just to get rid of this faction and then channel all 4 of our armies through there. That might be the right way to do it. I am just going to keep Morgur near Kazrak for the moment. We're just gonna stay together. Is there any upgrades I want to make to your stone here? We are still going to need the ability to upgrade this building again. But I think we should be able to afford... Well, maybe not that. We should be able to afford this, but do I care? Let's just not even bother. Let's just hold on to the dread for the moment. Or the favor, rather. Which of our 14 currencies and tracked values am I talking about today? We still do have to sail all the way back up north and burn the Dark Elf capital, and we'll get there. I don't exactly know what our plan is after we clear out the jungle. I'm not thinking that far ahead. Hey, what a surprise. SB doesn't have a long-term plan. What a bizarre change of pace. Alright, yes. A Beast Lord was a bad boy, and then we removed his horns for leadership. Because that's the effect that would have, apparently, I am told. Yeah, I think the plan is going to be, let's just burn Chakwa, and then we'll use Chakwa, the pathway through here, as a way to approach Itza. So they're building back up, but our experience so far with Chakwa has been that they only build armies entirely out of skinks, which is just not very scary, you know? They're going to have a hard time doing anything meaningful with an army made entirely of skinks. Yep, and they're still doing it. I wonder if they just don't have good replenishment buildings. Okay, yeah, I guess Chakwa's a small settlement, so they don't have room for a lot of recruitment stuff. And in fact, this is all economic buildings. So yeah, just whatever lords they might have access to, they can only recruit the most basic, terrible units. It is tough to survive on a single settlement. That's, there's not a lot you can do there. So we have access to his unique line. I think we have to start taking that stuff right away, right? We'll come back to the red line later. So yeah, let's start the business of merging back up. We're probably way better off beast pathing here. And as long as the 2 armies stay together, I think that should be pretty safe. Now keep in mind, if we ever do a beast path move like that, and any part of the path is near an enemy army, the enemy army gets a chance to intercept. And I think that's true even if they're in ambush mode. So sometimes we will get intercepted by armies we didn't realize were there. So we have to be relatively smart about that. We have to be a little bit cautious. Do I want to just fire the ritual on this? Yeah, I'm probably not going to go back and take the Temple of Tlenkan. So yeah, let's just go ahead and hit the button. That ritual is charged up enough that it gets us the ability to expand our unit caps on every type of unit. And we're doing okay. We're doing okay. I think it probably doesn't matter which direction we take here. It's probably not going to be too many turns different. But I definitely want to scout ahead and see what they're doing up at Itza. So 10% faster fire from our Cygors. I think every army now either has a Cygor or has the ability to summon one at least. So that might be worth taking. Don't have a lot of Razor Gores. We have a fair amount of Jabber Spawn, or of Chaos Spawn, and a couple of Jabber Slides. Causes fear when ambushing is probably superfluous. Harpies, Razor Gore Herd, Warhounds, and Manticores. I think we're just sort of out of compelling technologies. We've gotten most of the good stuff already. Oh, right. He didn't ask for orders because he had a tiny, tiny, tiny portion of a move order already queued up. Well, the good news is the power bar between us and Itza is completely yellow and has remained completely yellow for a couple of turns now, which suggests that they're not even attempting to build a new army. I don't know why that would be. They should have more than enough settlements to have a functional income and recruitment buildings. And Tlashtan is just desperately like, how many skinks can we put together here? I don't know how many skinks it will take for them to beat us, but I do know that they will not have that many. So yeah, let's have Morgur and Kazrak lead this push, because again, they are the ones who need the XP the most. Alright, we'll have Kazrak run up into the reinforcement position. I'm trying to get him like at this point where all of the circles meet. You know what, just go here. So Chakwa has a 7-unit garrison. I'm gonna make sure that my other armies are close too. Let's just put all of the bodies up on this. I want the math on this to be good so that we don't have to spend 10 real-world minutes fighting a bunch of skinks. Not a good use of our time. Alright. Yeah, decisive victory. Interestingly, it doesn't show any... Oh, because we got an ambush. That's right. We can sometimes ambush on the attack. Well, obviously that's 100% trivial. We kill the one enemy unit. I forgot that that can happen. So we successfully ambushed that army. Oh good, more chaos spawn. The problem with this army is that it did not have enough chaos spawn capacity. Alright, apparently he's not close enough to count as reinforcements for... There we go, he is if we attack Chakwa. Ah, but Morgur doesn't have the movement range to attack Chakwa. Alright, Torox. Torox, be the one who does that. Am I allowed to rearrange my reinforcements? I want Kazrak to be... I don't know that it actually affects their XP. I want Kazrak to get the lion's share of the XP here, or the goat's share, rather. We will put this on a unit of great Minotaurs. I mean, all Minotaurs are great Minotaurs, obviously. Alright, they pushed up into gold ranks. Good news. Yeah, just like the worst army imaginable. And we have achieved a savage rampage, which is not really... I gotta say, the rampage and momentum mechanics are like, they're fun in theory, but the benefits from the rampages are small enough that they kind of, they feel a little inconsequential. All right, Malagor, go finish that guy off. He had managed to escape from the the single unit ambush, which is a tiny, tiny amount of health. And you don't even really need to heal up. Yeah, I guess just run forward. Alright, so what is the other spell that we want to pick up? I do love the Enfeebling Foe. Doom and Darkness is a lot of leadership lost, though. I think I would rather have the enemies lose in combat. When they're all dying horribly by being chopped up, that also affects their morale. So we'll just... That's how we'll drop their leadership. So we need 2 skill points in here. Let's see. This gives the Aura of Madness for Jabber Slythe units. Horrible regeneration for my spawn. Melee defense and weapon strength up for both of them. I mean, that seems like a very obvious... Oh, never mind. Herald of Corruption. We'll go back and get the other one. I have no idea what this is. Blessing ancillaries? I mean, we'll get it. Oh, actually, we'll get... Sorry, we had 2 skill points. I was looking right at it. We're still also going to take Abstraction of Tzeentch. We'll get the other thing later. And then you... are almost an arcane conduit yourself. Lords top out at level 40. You stop receiving skill points after level 40. So we do have to figure out what exactly we want on him at this point. May as well get magic resistance, because Torox is getting very close to never gaining another skill point ever again. We'll get there eventually. Just keep running. So where are we going for this quest? It's like deep in Empire territory, right? Oh yeah, Ostland. Yeesh. All right. I am trusting that he will plot a sensible route. It's a long journey. Nothing for it, really. So what are the cataclysmic benefits? That's right, recruiting rank up for various heroes. Yeah. So it's all sort of whatever. Even more dread. Gosh, we have a lot of dread. Stampede of the Chosen, I guess, at least potentially lets you move that one army around really fast, which might be worthwhile. We'll probably want to fire off a horrific onslaught when we get to Itza. Alright, big Dark Elf faction and big High Elf faction are at war again, right? They definitely were at war before, when we were running around on Ulthuan. I do wonder if maybe we should just fire off the ritual on our other herdstone as well. I guess there's not really a reason to right now. Like we can hold that indefinitely because we have a whole lot of herdstone capacity. I don't care about the Chaos Corruption thing at all, honestly. Right, they're building this back up to be worth quite a bit. Yeah, we'll scour these guys out first. We can just leave that for now. All right, everybody south. I was gonna say led by the scout, but no, the scout just barely catches up. Well, I do kind of want to be cautious here. I know, cautious beastmen. What does it even mean? But I don't want to walk into a big ambush and lose a bunch of the stuff we put so much work into here. So we'll all sort of creep up into a hidden encampment ball, and then we will press forward a little bit more next turn. Behind the scout, instead of in front of him. Alright, while we're here. Kazrak, definitely upgrade that thing. Probably ought to do that as well. It's everybody else's core building is maxed out, right? Yeah, okay. So yeah, we definitely need the ability to recruit Bestigors so we can actually take advantage of all that dread that I spent. Beyond that, this is maybe a time to start spending favor on all of those very cool magic items. Alright, Da has respawned. I'm going to have him run around the other way toward Itza. We'll push like past Axolotl. So Itza has walls and a 19-unit garrison. Can't see anything about it just yet. And I assume if this faction has any army at all, it's going to be parked in that city. So this is going to be a tougher one to crack, probably. The Sacred Pools has a pretty small garrison, but a pretty large army sitting inside of it. Okay. All right, let's talk about items. What do we want? I mean, 20 melee attack is very significant, but so's a Cygor. Oh, right. Sorry, I was gonna... Kazrak was gonna get a caster. So let's kick out a random unit of Ungor. Let's do a merge, actually. And then this is a dread upgrade I could buy, right? Yeah. Lords and heroes are recruited at 5. Do we want to wait for this? Probably not. Yeah, let's just get them on the table. Oh, I still need to buy a point of capacity, right? Which is going to be 500. Okay, so never mind. We'll do that soon. But that's what I was thinking, is we would buy that and then we would get him the Cygor summoning thing. I think we want a Cygor summoning thing for you as well. It just feels like, in general, people ought to have a blind eye of seeing. Or would I rather... would I rather have you have the Skull of Rarkos? Because you already do have Savage Dominion as a spell. Yeah, we'll do that, and then we'll pass this eye off to somebody else. I think you do not have one. You do have the spell naturally, but that doesn't mean you can't also have it from another thing. And also, I should probably give you some other potions and stuff. All right, do we have any loose talismans? Yeah, I'll give you magic resist, and you probably don't need a sword. I need to do a pass over our units and our equipment and just make sure things are equipped in sensible places, but that's a little bit tedious to do on camera. Slowly we sail. We'll get a little bit more vision of what's going on in the east from this guy, which will help us know if this is maybe a good time to consider running over to what do you call it? The Empire, after we're done in the jungle. Because Altdorf is not going to be easy. It's way inland, it's surrounded by hostile territory, and generally it holds up as a pretty powerful city. So I am concerned that we are going to find it very difficult to take down. Oh, you can't quite see to the actual city itself. That's a shame. Oh right, heroes can search ruins. And they get a dramatically reduced payout relative to armies searching, if I remember correctly, but I think it's worth XP. Yeah. Oh man, this one again. All right. The old ones believe that alignment is all. So yeah, the problem here is that I don't know whether I'm rotating the inner circle or the outer circle still. I mean, it kind of doesn't matter, and I'm sure the result, if we do it successfully, the reward's going to be like 1,000 favor. So it's probably not really worth spending a lot of time on. So it looks like the yellow lines are the only ones that would align, right? Because if we rotate the inner circle this way to meet the blue line, the other blue lines are going to be way off. And yeah, same deal over here. So if we rotate the outer circle such that the yellow lines meet, this thing goes like to that and that, and that's not one of the available options here. Okay, we're just gonna press right on through. Like I said, the result, I'm sure the successful result of that would have been like a gray quality item or 1,000 favor or something, and it's just not worth spending time on. I mostly did it for the level on our hero. I actually, I will say, I'm surprised how much XP it gave. And that may be more valuable as a way to level up early heroes than I had realized. Because it looked like it gave as much experience as a successful hero action before it even checked whether or not we got the puzzle right. Wow, Clan Morse has been destroyed. That's usually a pretty big and powerful faction. And one of the things that's great about Mortal Empires is that, you know, you see different factions, different groups and power blocks ascend every time. What do we got? Nothing. No armies at all. Okay, let's continue to creep, I guess. I thought for sure that would be where they were playing defense. How much can I raid for? Significant is how much. I think we might all just run forward and raid together. Let's see if I can. Oh, sorry. Except Kazrak. Kazrak probably needs to maintain. Kazrak needs to maintain encampment mode because I need to actually change his recruitment, which I did not do last turn. You can also raid. So you see, when you have multiple units raid the same region, none of them raid at full efficiency, but they still together are raiding for considerably more than any one of them would have alone. Why did it change who I had selected? Okay, let's grab Earthing. Alright, so next level up, you get Arcane Conduit, which is lovely. Kazrak needs to... Okay, yes, we did do that. So Kazrak should be able to get a ton of Bestigors. We still probably want to... It's still okay to have some Ungor. Because remember, they do give poison. Do I want to upgrade... So just as a sense of the stat difference here. Bestigors have 1,000 extra health overall. They have 105 armor. They're just a lot better pretty much all the way around, except for the fact that they do not have anti-large. But, you know, the base stats on an Ungor Spearman herd are so bad that even with the anti-large, a lot of the time they're going to be worse at fighting a large enemy than the Bestigors will. Let's... Oh, you've not satisfied the dread or ruination level requirements. Oh no, we just don't have enough dread. Is all the problem. Because it turns out that one got expensive. Oh right, sorry. The thing I was going to do was upgrade my capacity for Bray Shamans. That's what this extra slot is for. The Bray Shaman. So, what kind of Bray Shaman do we want? Knowledgeable or tough Shamans of Beasts, aggressive or disciplined Shamans of Shadows, determined or intelligent Shamans of... Ooh, I do love Ambush Defense Chance. Or do we want one of these? Ambush Success Chance is definitely better than Ambush Defense Chance. And honestly, I do like Wild as a school. Yeah, okay. Welcome aboard, guy whose name I will never be able to pronounce. So devolve, Bestial Surge. I think... So weak against armor. Viletide's going to be pretty bad against Lizardmen. Most Lizardmen units have a significant amount of armor. Certainly all the ones that are actually, like, dangerous to us. So we may want to go for something else, like... Bray Scream or Traderkin. I mean, speed reductions are interesting. I think we're going to take Bray Scream. We'll just max that out, and then we're ready to move on to Evasion with our next thing. Sadly, you spawn with no movement, so we can't actually have you join the army just yet. Okay, here we go. Itza and their legendary lord and a full 20 stack of units. This is why it's good to have scouting. Let's see how he handles all of the raiding. I assume he's going to turn around and position to do something about us. What I want to do is lure him into a silly ambush situation, right? Want to eliminate him in the field so that we can take on Itza without having to worry about all of his units stationed on and behind the walls. I wonder who killed Sildrator. I wonder if it was another one of the Dark Elf factions. We should have a look at how things look up north. What we're going to be coming back to. We don't necessarily have to spend a ton of time in the north. The city that we have to burn down is a port city, but it's a port city that's all the way on the inside of a bay, so we will be sort of deep in Dark Elf waters when we do it. And Gorok's army did move, but only very, very slightly for some reason. Wow, that is not going to work. Alright, I guess try this. We gotta give you stuff you can handle until you level up a little bit. Pretty good. Just keep increasing our chance of actually getting the action done. The fact that he didn't make it to Itza this turn, I can't imagine we're gonna be able to cut him off. Well, now that's embarrassing. He couldn't figure out a way to get inside the walls. So let's merge you up into Kazrak's army, which is still a unit short. Yeah, I need to do another capacity upgrade. Well, whatever. It's fine. We'll leave it for right now because we're on the move. You can grab. Do we want to grab a chariot for him? He's just an on-foot melee unit no matter what. Probably. What else is going on in this army? We have a fair amount of on-foot stuff. We don't really have a lot of fast-moving units, so as the only cavalry in the army, he will have some significant, strategic value. Yeah. All right, we'll put you on chariot. Oh, interesting. Torox can just make it to Itza right now. Can anybody get close enough to reinforce? Yes. How many people? All right, I think it behooves us to take it right now. I didn't realize he'd be able to travel all that distance, but yeah, when he's in raiding mode, he is a wrecking ball for sure. So, let's go ahead and fire off some of these bonuses. I think I do want leadership and melee defense down wherever Torox is. And then I guess we would have been able to get him there if I wanted, no matter what. The thing that really matters is whether other armies could also get there, because I wouldn't want to put him up against Itza by himself. Do we want to get bonus favor income, I guess? I don't know that, yeah, I don't know if there's anything else here that's terribly interesting. We are certainly going to raise this settlement, and it is certainly going to be worth a lot of money when we do. Alright. I think we can get it. Just leave Gorok nowhere to go home to. Oh, I ran through the thing. I don't know, man. Add some of these to the pool. Alright, let's get a little bit of backup in place. Right, I think you can serve as reinforcements from the beast paths. Yes, okay. And then the question is, do we want to bring up the other armies, or are they better off doing something else? Maybe just not being obviously visible. Because we could... They're not going to be able to move forward far enough to like cut off Gorok. When we break the settlement, we're going to set up a herdstone that's going to have a considerable garrison at it, so even if these armies take a bunch of damage, we're still in position to defend against Gorok's revenge. I don't know, I don't think there's really a very interesting move available aside from just like everybody stay together in a big murder ball. Oh, Khazrak can't. Is it better for you to do something else then? Man, Khazrak needs more movement. Well, we're not at war with these dwarves just yet, and they don't really have an army in the area anyway. So I don't think it's a big deal that Khazrak is separated, and he's certainly not vulnerable to Gorok. Alright, we haven't actually shown a siege battle yet. Let's go ahead and do one here. I do sort of wish I had a Cygor available, but we'll be okay. So let's talk about how this is going to go. They have a ton of temple guards. You can see here 31 attack, not so great, 30 defense, not so great, but 85 armor and shields, and they're pretty good at just standing there. 85 armor across 10,000 HP. Very difficult to fight them, and so sieging Lizardman settlements can be really annoying because these guys are all over the walls. You climb up the walls, your units are tired from climbing the ladders, and then you get into a fight with a unit that you just can't kill. We will not be doing any of that ladder wall nonsense. We're going to go straight in through the front. I don't know how many gates Itza has, but I do know how many it's going to have by the time we're done with it. We do have Manticore. We do have Harpies coming in as our first reinforcement army, so we can go over the wall and harass them to some degree. And then we're going to end up just fighting them inside the walls on the ground, which is a position that they're actually pretty well suited to fighting in. They have some actual terrifying dinosaurs. They have these Croxagors, which are huge crocodile dudes who are pretty good in melee combat. They also have a bunch of skinks with javelins who are just not going to provide very much danger. All right, I love Minotaurs with Vanguard deployments. So here's what we're going to do. The enemy's going to have control of some of these towers up on the wall, and they're going to be able to shoot at us. I'm going to spread our initial army out as wide as possible so as to minimize the amount of tower fire any individual unit can take. I might have... The units that are not going through the wall right away, I think I will probably bank up over here. You'll notice for some reason there are no towers on this portion of the wall. Seems like a huge strategic oversight. But basically my initial plan here is to hack through the gates in all three places so that they have to spread their defenses out, and then we just have overwhelming reinforcements. Now keep in mind, this is a thing of the battle system that is a little bit annoying. You can only have 40 units on the battlefield at once, so 10 units from each of our reinforcement armies are going to come in, and then we're going to stop getting reinforced. And as our units get beaten and leave the battlefield, then we will get the rest of things trickling in. So it's not ideal, certainly, but I think this is a strategy that has some merits. You can see they're up on the walls controlling the towers. Let's just hack through these gates really fast. And the units coming in as reinforcements will just charge through wherever the defenses seem to be thinnest. Interesting. They seem to be being awarded control of this tower despite having nobody anywhere near it. You can see they're supposed to have units in the little control box that appears on mouse over. I'm assuming that is a display bug, that they will not actually get to shoot that tower without having anybody on it. All right, and you lot just kind of get up closer to the wall. So our archers can start raining fire over the wall or on like these skinks that are up here on the wall immediately. And also we can, cast and stuff. Do I want to spawn the Cygors right this second? Probably. We can just throw rocks. Yeah, we can just throw rocks and like on these temple guards. Let's do that. Let's get some Savage Dominion going. Hey, you two, face like this. So we also have an army ability here. Touched by the moon. Deals severe damage when it expires. So we just play it on a unit that is not a Lord or a hero. They get a massive stat boost, including 40% physical resistance. So the Minotaurs are enduring some early fire here, but they'll get us through the gates, and then the rest of our stuff can do whatever the rest of our stuff is able to do. And yeah, they have in fact been given control of this tower for free without having to put any units into it. That seems a little broken. I'm noticing, I think I see what's happening. I'm noticing that they don't have control of this tower, despite the fact that they absolutely do have units in the box. So I wonder if there's a bug where these two boxes are swapped. Because you can see this one's highlighted in red, telling me that there are units in it, but they don't have the tower. So yeah, I think what's happened is those two got swapped. Weird. This is a weird problem. Since they have nothing but skinks on the wall, I'm kind of considering just landing the Manticore. Like, let's just drop the Manticore on them right away. Skinks are not going to be able to fight off a Manticore. We could have Torox just climb the wall because he is... Oh no, that's right. He is a large unit. You know what? I'm going to have Torox come around here. He's going to help with the gate. He's just going straight in. As are the Gorgons. Now, keep in mind, the Gorgons are... I want to try to keep them safe from tower fire because they're going to be extremely valuable anti-dinosaur troops. We're going to have to fight a fair number of dinosaurs to get through this battle, and I want to make sure that the Gorgons are fresh and ready to do that. So they got these tiny little skinks throwing javelins at us. Their towers are considerably more dangerous. Yep, as you can see. But they have limited firing angles. Oh, that Gorgon needs to step sideways. Okay, hold on a second. Crowfather, you can't be right there. You gotta get out of the triangle. Oh, yeah, you lot try to form up like right here. I'm just gonna try to make sure that my units are settling in locations where it will be relatively safe for them to be. And I am fully fine with the reinforcement units taking a lot of fire while we let these ones form up. You two have not fired a single projectile, it looks like. All right, Manticore's doing good Manticore stuff. We could have the Cygors try to break down some of the towers. Actually, I'm kind of curious if they will do damage quickly enough for that to be a reasonable thing to do, because they do have pretty high damage output on those rocks. Okay. 10 volleys gets the job done. So I'm going to be honest with you. Those gates went down way faster than I was expecting. Turns out Minotaur's pretty good at the job. I do think that's a skink priest avatar is what they've summoned. They summoned a ghost skink. A normal skink is already pretty insubstantial. I kind of want to pull the Minotaurs back, right? Because Minotaurs, they want to be charging units. Let's see if I can just get through the wall. Let's see if they'll let me through the wall. Torox is definitely, yeah, just like charge through and melee those guys. And I think this is good enough for me. Get inside. Just run through. I really wish that they seemed like they were going to make a smarter approach there. It sure looks like the way they're the way they're pathing, they may have a hard time getting where they're going. And we're gonna spawn more Cygors to help with the tower thing. Oh, right. Sorry, I should give orders at the other fronts as well. The other gates did break down. So all of y'all, All right, that's a Tyrannosaurus. That is what is known as a feral carnosaur. A concern. I have a concern. Also, I'm noticing this is shield. We don't have any great weapon minotaurs at this gate. So, a question. Do we change up the plan and have these minotaurs bail? Because I don't really want to fight it. I want great weapon minotaurs to fight the dinosaur. It's risky for sure. Should probably fire your Skull of Rakos. We should probably also just drop a Cygor inside the wall. Yeah, just fly over there and drop a Cygor, and we'll have a Cygor go melee toe to toe with the dinosaur, and hopefully the minotaurs can just hack away at it while it is distracted. So everybody plan to get through the wall. Try your best to jam through the wall. And that's the same deal over here. We should be able to largely jam through the wall. Now here, it seems like they've stacked up a lot more of their actual melee units. So this is all the great weapon minotaurs. Of course, I didn't spread them out at all because I was not thinking ahead, apparently. Well, the good news is the great weapon minotaurs absolutely have a dinosaur to fight. So let's have the shield minotaurs and one unit of great weapon minotaurs charge through to engage the temple guards. 2 units of great weapon minotaurs get this dinosaur. And then you help with the dinosaur. I don't know. Get inside the wall and we'll figure out your stuff later. Notice they're keeping in reserve a significant number of units here. I'm not 100% sure why, but that significant number of units includes the Croxagore, which is effectively a lizard equivalent of the Minotaur. They got some Pterodon riders with some ranged weapon cavalry. And even more Croxagores. Okay, I guess that's it. If they lose control of this box here, you can see the red box on the outline, their army will rapidly lose morale. So obviously that's why they've stacked up a lot of stuff where they've stacked it up. You can see some of my beastmen are starting to do some work. Let's move everybody else over. I did have everybody positioned mostly so that they would not be in danger of tower fire, but now we are changing up the strat. Now it is time to aggress. Oh, my poor wizard got shot off his feet while trying to summon Cygor. I'm trying to make sure I'm giving the right orders here. Okay, so the Cygor, you are a melee Cygor. Just punch that Carnosaur to buy the Minotaurs time to do the thing they need to do. Everybody in the pool. Sure. Replenish your speed and vigor and whatnot. It looks like we got some Croxagores moving up. That's going to be a thing. So the Manticore is feasting. The Butchers of Kalkengard are doing this thing correctly, I hope. And yeah, just get through. Just get through. Now, of course, we're gonna. The biggest problem here is I have to keep an eye, very close, personal eye, on 3 different fronts because our units are going to do a terrible job wherever they can. They're going to just stop attacking randomly because apparently that's a thing that is a common behavior now in this patch. So we're just gonna. There's gonna be a lot of pausing. There's gonna be a lot of pausing, unfortunately. So. Flock of Doom, very bad in this area. Probably the right thing to do is a nice enfeebling foe on the Carnosaur. Let's just soften him up, because a Carnosaur is definitely a better melee fighter than a Cygor is under normal circumstances. Y'all, where you going? They're trying to path through the other gate for some reason. Don't let him escape. Okay. A lot of tower fire happening right now. Our Lord just kind of standing there. Alright, Minotaurs seem to be pretty good in general at fighting dinosaurs. The Gorgons didn't even really get to do anything. Oh, you know what? Never mind. It has the skull. It has given up properly. Let's just let it go. But the rest of you got places to be. The Manticore is fighting the priest avatar. I mean, I would prefer that it keep attacking the javelins. So these javelin dudes are not very dangerous by themselves, of course, but I believe their javelins are poisoned, so they're raining debuffs on us to make us bad at fighting their melee troops, and that is something I would like to avoid. All right, get inside. It seems like we did not damage this tower fast enough for it to matter. This is why I usually don't even bother with tower damage based strategies. It's just like it's so rare that the towers mean anything at all, and I always get people yelling at me in the comments when I don't try to destroy towers and walls, but you know, there are a fair number of people. You've probably noticed this if you've ever read any YouTube comments. There are a fair number of people in the comments of YouTube videos that don't necessarily know what they're talking about when they're yelling at the person making the video. Run into a fair amount of that. All right, so let's keep one unit of Great Weapon Minotaurs, probably one that's not terribly healthy, on the dinosaur over here, because it is running, but it's not permanently broken. The Minotaurs with the shields are just gonna have to stay put. Okay, I'm gonna have you like run around and try to break off. No, these guys. Are some of the figures in this unit already over there? Is that why? Okay, I don't know. Run over here and I will figure out your more precise orders later. Yep, a lot of you just run in and... Okay. So we've got a good spell going off there. That's about all of our winds of magic for the moment. The Carnosaur is having a terrible time. The Cygor actually did very well. I think I'm going to put this Cygor back into ranged attack mode. Let's just drop some rocks on the Croxigors. If they want to survive, they have to come fight. Our Wargore is doing some fine work over here, running down that Lizardman. My plan was to have these Gorgons circle around and help with the Croxigor thing, but it seems like it's not going to be necessary. I think I'm going to have them just go mulch up some Croxigors. All right, let's pay attention to this field, this theater of the battle for a moment. Try to maneuver my Minotaurs in a sensible fashion. Wow, that spell does some work. Get around behind him. So I need a lot of you to just engage them from the front, keep them from moving. And the Minotaurs hit them from the back and the side. And I imagine we're going to see some pretty severe effects on their morale here. We'll just press that a little bit further with some friendly magic. And then you know what I could use as a Cygor? What if we just had some Cygors? That's a wizard, right? All right, let's have this Cygor. Throw rocks over this way. You lot, take the center. Gorgons and Minotaurs in, let's do it. Yeah, Gorgons seem very well suited to fighting Croxigors. Also, I guess there's a bunch of little skinks in here. This is not a good plan for them. They're just sort of accidentally getting mulched while the real fighting is happening. Oof. Wow, that is a Minotaur getting bounced like that. Not usually the thing you see. I think we've broken. Yeah, we've broken them properly here. We did apparently lose 2 units, because you can see 2 more units did come in out of our reinforcements. I don't know exactly who it was. I'm going to assume it was like bad ground troops. Probably like some Ungor from one of the armies. Unfortunately, when you do that thing where you bring in more than 40 units and you only get partial reinforcements from an army, it grabs the first 10 units in order, and you may have noticed the game, basically, it tries to sort your units by, like, first of all, basic infantry, and then basic ranged, and all of the cool stuff goes at the end, generally. So, like, if Torox was a reinforcing army in this situation, this would have been what his army would have brought in. He wouldn't have gotten any of his Minotaurs. So we probably saw almost entirely the worst units from those other armies. It does put all of the lords and heroes at the front, so at least you always get all your characters. But a lot of the time, it ends up being the case that it's better to do a fight with 2 armies than it is with 3 armies. 2 armies is significantly stronger than 3 armies due to just the foibles of the system. Actually, no. It looks like there were no actual losses. I guess those units just came in really slowly. It does take a while for people to trickle in. All right, so let's raise a herdstone in Itza. Yep, it does not note that this will be a special herdstone in any way, and that's a shame, because 32,000 favor would be kind of neat. Got ourselves a dragon helm, apparently. It's true, we have achieved victory in so many siege battles. So the herdstone at Itza. Is this providing a special... I don't know that it is, actually. Where's the one that gives vision? I do like the vision. I don't necessarily think that the reduced enemy movement is going to be all that relevant here, but the replenishment range probably isn't either. Yeah, all right. So what do we want now? We have a limited number of levels remaining. We probably want to grab like any other red line, any other stuff in this box, obviously, that we might get any benefit out of. Like, we probably won't take Creatures of the Herd because he's never going to have any of those units in his army. This is just normal melee, which again, we probably will never have. We may as well take this bonus for our Ungor Raiders. I assume that this does not affect summoned Cygors, probably. But we might end up with another real Cygor in the army. That's a possibility, so. And at the very least, it'll affect the Raiders, provided any of them manage to make it to a level to actually benefit from that. And then I guess, I don't know, we'll just put skill points wherever on this guy, because he's already got all of the skill points that will ever be useful. You know, all 4 of our units of Raiders are just about to hit the level where they will benefit from that skill. So I guess it'll come into play. Kazrak, you only have 19 units in your army. Oh, right, you're not in encampment mode. So we have a pretty huge garrison here and a pretty huge set of armies. There's no way Gorok runs over and attacks us, right? It would be very foolish, I think. And it's not really brought us all that close to the next rampage. Ah, yes, and also sailing. The sailing continues. Maybe after that battle, I'm wondering, maybe I have undervalued Cygors as a melee combatant. Maybe they're actually okay. Itza had one of their dudes attempt to assassinate one of my heroes. How dare they? A little bit of strife among the High Elves. This seems like not a good time for that. Right? Because didn't the major Dark Elf faction just declare war on basically the whole island? And yeah, another one of the High Elf factions was destroyed this turn. They're perhaps making some bad long-term decisions. Grimgor's Hard Boys, already one of the most powerful factions in the world, has taken over another Legendary Lord faction, so that's potentially a concern. And let's just really quickly here. Okay, Gorok fell back to Axolotl. That makes sense to me. Actually, but he didn't go back to Axolotl. He went past Axolotl. Is he planning to resettle, maybe? Maybe. So yeah, I can't tell. It doesn't seem to be a special herdstone. Maybe people meant that after the ritual is performed, it will turn into something more special. I'm also kind of curious. Okay, that did make it check off Itza at least. Maybe I'm gonna have to go back and build herdstones at the other things that we've raised and conquered already to get them to get checked off. I don't know. I'm still hoping that this is just a visual bug and that we do in fact have full credit for these two. But we're gonna have to head back north at some point anyway, so we can probably like just swing through and get the job done. All right. I think that right there is where we're gonna have to call it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, soon, there's gonna be one more episode for this week. I don't know exactly when I'm gonna get that out. Hopefully, we can finish Itza and Gorok off with a minimum of getting all of my Minotaurs killed. And from there, I guess we have some options. And we'll see you then.